Steady now.
r.p.m tuning seemed like a blatant attempt to cash in on the import racing craze of the early 2000s, which was triggered in part by the popularity of the Fast and Furious in cinemas and games like Need for Speed Underground. But there's more of a history to this game, and a convoluted one at that. Technically part of the Top Gear series, which ran from the Super Nintendo up to the Nintendo 64 and PS2, all traces of those series ties were removed for the European release, though in this Xbox version, Top Gear branding is still present in the menu and loading screens. If you were hoping that the game underneath this branding confusion was as interesting as its forebearers, you'll be sorely disappointed. You see, upon entering your first race in r.p.m tuning, you'll likely be left feeling underwhelmed. The driving and handling are perfectly serviceable, allowing you to pull off drifts mostly with ease and navigate corners with considered driving, but it's also lacking a real spark or a sense of speed. The nitrous system provides intrigue, as it's not only governed by an N2O meter, but also a cooling system, which means constant use causes your car to overheat and drag, while avoiding usage lets the car cool down. It's novel in a way, but it can be circumvented easily with careful use, and besides, going full speed causes the screen to begin blurring, which makes driving harder. The AI is the racing's biggest misfire, as opponents exhibit idiotic levels of aggression that see them drive straight into walls, traffic, and sometimes cause you to spin out. It means you can either gain from their ineptitude or be cost a race as they ram you off the road. It's all very bland. Cars are all fictional, and while you can rename them to something more accurate to the real world models, they don't really stand out, aside from some noticeable stat changes. One of the game's biggest selling points is customization, as you can tune up a car. Adding performance boosts, changing the paint job, and adding exterior extras like spoilers is all possible, but in truth, the customization is extremely limited next to competing titles. There's only a handful of options for each category, paint jobs are small in number, and the vinyl stickers are preset and cannot be customised or moved. It means there's no real room for creativity, and instead, beefing up stats is the only real use you get out of tuning. The roster of modes doesn't inspire much enjoyment either. The main solo component is adventure mode, around 50 missions that follow a man called Vince, whose car is stolen. He aims to track down his beloved GTSR by infiltrating street racing, meeting a cast of completely forgettable characters along the way.
I always have time to find a car for someone who's interested in tuning.
While Underground 2 had enough cheese to fill a dairy farm, it was at least memorable and over the top. r.p.m Tuning's story is badly told, poorly written, and lacks the enthusiastic voice work to make you care. It all builds to one of the poorest, most anticlimactic endings you'll see. It's a racing game, sure, but the story is still there to be experienced, and it's laughable.
Oh yeah! Race me to the track! Follow me, man!
Elsewhere, you can set up quick races unlocked from said adventure mode, Tune and Race, which sees you buying a new car from scratch and working through races to earn cash, which is just more of the same. And there is a 2-player mode for the social gamers. However, none of these will likely keep you playing beyond the 10-hour mark. r.p.m Tuning's presentation is also roundly mediocre. The car models look solid enough, even if they bear little lighting or detail, though the damage modelling is really poor. If you crash or take damage, the car sometimes begins to turn a pitch black texture, which shows a lack of care in the geometry. The The city itself, which can be explored in free roam, is completely bland and lacking anything in the way of fun secrets, distinct monuments, or fun tracks. Performance holds at 30 frames per second, at least. The sound offers rigid voice acting, weak car and crash sounds, and a paltry selection of electronica tracks that grow tiring long before you're done with this one. Considering how many racing games became iconic thanks to their music, original or licensed, it's poor show here. In fact, r.p.m tuning is a pretty poor showing all around. The amount of import racing games releasing at the time likely made it a hard sell anyway, but this effort is completely devoid of energy, excitement, or fun. While the driving is serviceable, and there's a bit of customization to be had, most will find the bland presentation, horrendous AI, and poorly articulated story cutscenes a turn-off. It all feels a bit half-hearted, like it's half-committed to being a Top Gear entry. With so many superior options available throughout this generation of consoles, r.p.m is best left to collect dust in the garage.
This race is gonna be off the hook. So you best be in top form. Know what I'm saying?